Deep in the northern glacier, a hidden cavern glows with blue torchlight. A stone altar waits, slick with old dark stains. Two robed elders force a young shinobi to his knees. His gray gi is torn, his wrists bound by an iron cord.
I have a family. You can't do this to me.
The lead elder raises a hand, and the others begin a low, guttural chant. The boys' pleas are swallowed by the ritual. A ceremonial dagger gleams in the blue light. Its blade is carved with ancient frost runes that pulse with cold magic. The dagger reaches its peak. The elder's grip tightens. The boy squeezes his eyes shut, mouth moving in a silent plea. The blade starts its downward arc. Then the cave screams. A tremor wrenches the floor. Ice splinters from the ceiling. The altar cracks beneath the boy, shards scattering like broken glass. The dagger halts mid-air, suspended by an invisible force. The runes flare, then go dark. Silence. The elders stagger back. Something deep inside the glacier has awakened. Far below the ritual chamber, inside the glacier's deepest vein, a shape suspended in blue ice begins to glow. The light pulses, once, twice, and the ancient ice starts to groan. Spiderweb fractures spread from 2 points of cyan fire.
Yamato, you must wake now.
A voice breaking the silence of my coffin.
A blast of frozen energy erupts. The glacier's heart shudders, and a hand, pale, veined with blue, punches through the ice wall. The ice shelf collapses outward. Yamato stumbles onto the snow, bare feet sinking into the drift, frost screaming off his shoulders.
Breathe. You have been entombed too long, Yamato.
Who? Whose voice echoed in the ice?
I am Hisame, who was sealed with you that night, and the world you knew is gone.
He stares down at a valley where no war rages. Only silence, and a sky he does not recognize. The mountain trail spits him into a wide green valley. A village sprawls below, rooftops glinting under the noonday sun.
No banners of war, no marching soldiers. The world has learned to breathe.
This peace, it feels like a wound that closed over a blade.
Villagers pass him without a glance, a stranger with frost-tipped hair, his cloak still shedding tiny ice crystals. In the central square, a monument towers over the market stalls. A stone shinobi, arm raised, cloak frozen mid-billow.
That is my face, carved into a hero I never meant to become.
An iron plaque at the base reads, Yamato, who sealed the great calamity. Let peace be eternal. Weeds have grown around the pedestal. Two old women on a bench gossip about the 5 villages treaty. 25 years of peace, one says, since the hero vanished.
25 years. Everyone I knew has lived an entire lifetime without me.
He stands alone before his own monument, a relic in a world that no longer needs him. Yamato pushed open the heavy oak door. Inside, the village Kage's office was thick with the scent of old ink and candle wax. An old man in indigo robes sat hunched over a cluttered desk. A cane rested against the arm of his chair, nearly buried by scrolls. The Kage looked up sharply. The ink brush slipped from his fingers, spattering black across a fresh document.
Yamato, this is a cruel trick. The dead should stay buried.
Genji, it is me. The ice held me, and now it has let go. Tell me what happened to our world.
Genji rose unsteadily. His trembling hand touched Yamato's shoulder, then jerked back from the unnatural cold.
25 years. Akira rose when you vanished. He united the 5 villages under one treaty, and no Kage could defy him.
Akira. My own teammate now rules the world I bled to save. And Hana? Did she survive this peace?
Hana is a mother now, her children grown. But you must not seek her. If Akira learns you live, the peace will shatter. Hide, Yamato.
Yamato slipped from Genji's office, the old man's warning heavy in his ears. He did not head for the mountain exit. He found the house Genji described. A small garden tucked behind a bamboo fence. Lantern light spilled across the stepping stones. Hana knelt on a cushion, a gentle smile on her lips as a young man and woman. Her children, chatted around her.
She found peace, the kind I could never give her.
Her son said something that made Hana laugh, a sound Yamato had not heard in a quarter century.
Do not torment yourself. The living must keep living, and you are still among them.
Then I will live for something else. This peace, something about it feels false.
Hisame's hand settled on his shoulder, the only warmth that didn't burn. He let the last image of Hana burn into memory.
I need to see the other villages, the treaty Genji spoke of. There is a weight to it that no one is naming.
By dawn, he was miles down the mountain road, the capital's distant towers faint on the horizon. His old name an unwelcome ghost behind him. 2 days' walk brought him to a derelict way station, half buried in snow. The door hung from one hinge.
This place is soaked in old grief. I can feel it in the wood, in the stone.
Inside, a table was littered with rotting scrolls, their wax seals broken. Yamato brushed dust from a leather-bound ledger. The ledger's pages listed dates going back 23 years, each entry marked with a single word: tribute accepted.
Tribute? Every year, the same date, submitted from each of the 5 villages. What could they possibly be paying?
He found a map pinned to the wall. The 5 village crests connected by inked red lines radiating from a single point, the northern glacier.
Bloodlines. They are sending something to the glacier, Yamato. Something that stains the earth.
A tribute to my resting place. What have they built in my absence? I need to see the capital first. Akira's seat of power. The truth will be there.
He rolled the map into his cloak and stepped back into the cold. The capital's spires now a dark silhouette against the morning sky. The capital's gates stood agape, but the streets hummed with a somber energy. Banners bore the anniversary date, the hero's sealing day.
A festival? Number. The faces are too grim. They are marching like cattle to slaughter.
He followed the river of villagers up a frozen gorge until the cave mouth yawned open, blue torchlight spilling out like cold breath. Inside, the same stone altar waited, the same robed elders, and bound before them, the same young shinobi who should have died days ago.
Please, I didn't ask for any of this. The hero wouldn't want this.
Yamato, restrain your fury. If you reveal yourself now, Akira will bury the truth forever.
They are killing children in my name. My silence has already cost too much.
The elder lifted the rune-carved dagger. The chant began, low and ancient, vibrating through the frozen walls. Before the dagger could fall, a shard of ice shot from the crowd and struck the elder's wrist. The blade clattered onto the altar.
Enough. This tribute ends now.
A blast of white cold erupted from Yamato's outstretched hands. The elders toppled backward, their robes crackling with frozen air.
You are not one of them. I am the one they built this altar for. Hold still.
Then Hisame's form bloomed behind him like a winter moon. The villagers screamed, dropping to their knees. One elder, still half frozen, clawed himself upright. His voice cracked with zeal.
Fool, the seal requires blood. Without the tribute, the Ice Queen's prison weakens.
I am the seal. I carry the Ice Queen within me. Your ritual feeds nothing but your own fear.
The elder's face twisted. Lord Akira mandated the tribute. He will burn your village for this heresy. Metal boots clanged at the cave entrance. Akira's guard poured in, blades gleaming. Yamato pulled Taro behind him.
This way, Yamato. I will shroud our escape, but we cannot linger.
Hisame's ice mist sealed the tunnel behind them, buying a few hours' head start. Yamato dragged Taro into a narrow crevice under a frozen waterfall.
My village. They told us the demons would return if we didn't send someone each year. We drew lots, a lottery of death. And the other villages? They also send tributes? I heard the elders say all 5 must give a child, or the treaty breaks. Mutual protection, they call it.
Genji's hunched figure emerged from the darkness behind them, a heavy satchel in his gnarled hands. His cane tapped softly on the ice.
I followed the guard's commotion. He stirred the hornet's nest, Yamato. but you did right.
Genji, the truth. Did Akira build this tribute system himself?
Akira's law, enforced by his silent blades. Any village that resists is razed. It is a protection racket for a peace that never truly existed.
So my own sacrifice was never the cure. It was only the first link in a chain of blood. Then I will break that chain. Genji, keep Taro hidden. I need to see how deep this corruption runs.
A bloodied elder stumbled into the Kage's hall, frost still clinging to his robes. He collapsed before the throne, gasping words that turned the air to stone.
He woke. After 25 years. The contingency I drafted before the treaty was signed is now real. Summon the Silent Blades. Their sole mission has finally crawled from the ice.
By midday, Genji's office was a wreck. Masked shinobi snapped his cane and dragged him away, his protest swallowed by iron doors. The Silent Blades, shinobi hand-picked and conditioned to counter Yamato's frost, swept the mountain passes. Their masks never spoke, only listened.
Their steps are too silent. They were taught to hunt exactly me.
A blade cut the air behind him, runes glowing with heat seal. Yamato dodged, frost erupting, but the edge still sliced his cloak and drew blood.
I can't keep up. They're too fast. We're trapped. Keep moving. I didn't thaw out to die in a forest. There's a gorge ahead.
They plunged into the ravine as the Silent Blades halted at the edge, unwilling to follow. But the net was tightening, and Genji's fate hung over every breath. The ravine opened onto a frozen river canyon, its walls ribbed with ancient ice. The water ran silent under a crust of snow.
They'll strike where the ice echoes. This is a killing ground.
A shuriken flashed from the cliff, not metal, but pure compressed frost. It shattered against a rock inches from Taro's skull. 3 Silent Blades descended from the mist. Their masks bore the same frost runes as the ritual dagger. Yamato's ice speared one, but the other 2 flanked. A rune-sealed blade carved through his defense and sliced deep into his shoulder. He dropped to one knee, frost sputtering. The final assassin raised a dagger wreathed in anti-ice fire, aimed at his throat. Then the air itself froze into a solid shield. The strike bounced off a wall of blue light that erupted from Hisama's translucent form.
That seal. I remember. Akira. He did not banish a demon. He chained a woman who refused him.
A flickering vision bled into the air. A younger Akira, unwrinkled, chanting binding sutras over a woman robed in priestess white, her face Hisame's own.
I was never a demon. He used us both. Everything you believed about that night was a performance.
After the canyon, they limped into a hidden cleft in the mountain. A small settlement of huts clung to the rock, lit by a single blue lantern. An ancient woman with frost-scarred hands beckoned them inside. "The Silent Blades do not hunt ghosts," she murmured, "but you carry a light, I remember."
That light. You recognize me. I was. More than what the story said.
She bowed her head. "Hisame, the priestess of the Northern Shrine. You protected our villages from the true demons until Akira came with his treaty and your execution."
So the Ice Queen was never a demon. Akira painted her as a monster to justify his rule and the sacrifices.
The tribute feeds his power, not the seal. He bled the villages so they could never rebel. And you, Yamato, were his finest weapon, a frozen saint bound to a lie.
I was not a hero who sealed a great evil. I was just a tool in his scheme.
The memories are still fractured, but I feel it. This land once loved me, and I loved it in return.
The old woman set a cracked clay idol on the table. A woman with arms open, snowflakes carved in her palms. She was our guardian. You carry her still.
Then I will make sure the truth is known. Akira's reign ends with me.
Yamato slipped into the capital's prison wing, freezing the lone guard. Genji's cell was the deepest one.
I knew you'd come, but Akira has set a trap.
I didn't thaw out to let an old man rot.
Then the shadows spoke. Akira stepped from behind a pillar, flanked by masked silent blades.
Do you think I would leave my leverage unguarded? The seal requires my bloodline. Without me, the Ice Queen's power will consume everything. The tributes were the only way to contain it.
You twisted Hisame's memory and murdered children. You call that protection?
Kill me, and you will unleash the true catastrophe. Is your revenge worth that?
Yamato's hand trembled. Genji grabbed his arm. He's lying. Run. A blast of ice pushed the guards back. They fled through a maintenance shaft, but in the dark, Akira's warning echoed. For the first time, Yamato doubted. A message arrow pinned to a tree. Bring the boy to the altar, or Genji dies. Yamato knew it was a trap. He went anyway. The glacier cave yawned open, torchlight flickering. The same stone altar. Akira stood behind it, Genji bound at his feet.
You came. How predictable. The hero always walks into the villain's lair.
Yamato threw an ice spear, but it shattered against an invisible barrier. The runes on the altar ignited, and an agonizing pull clawed at his chest.
Yamato, the seal, it's draining me. He's using the blood debt from the tributes.
Did you think the tributes were to maintain the seal? Number. They fed me. Every sacrificed soul has kept me alive and powerful for a quarter century.
Yamato's frost sputtered and died. His cyan eyes dimmed. Hisame's form grew fainter, like breath on a winter morning.
No, he's dying. Stop it.
Soon the Ice Queen will be nothing but a tale, and I will live on, forever.
Yamato's hand twitched, but the frost would not answer. Hisame was a whisper, and the altar drank deeper.
Take me, my life for his. The blood debt will break if I die willingly. Stay back. That lie will only feed him more. You gave me a chance. Let my death mean something.
Number, no more children. I will not let it end this way.
The light swallowed the cave. In its heart, a vision bloomed. A young priestess in white, holding a newborn with a tuft of black hair.
That hair, that is my own.
I remember. I would have given anything to protect him.
The altar runes cracked. The siphon snapped. Akira stumbled back, his stolen years hemorrhaging into the air. Yamato's chest heaved. The drain was gone, but Hisame was a fading sketch, and the vision of the mother still burned in the air. For a single breath, the cyan in his eyes rekindled, a spark of ancient love not yet understood, but felt.
Hisame, I don't know what you truly are to me, but this power is not a curse. It's my birthright.
Then take it. Everything I have left. Let the world see who you were always meant to be.
The last of Hisame's light poured into him like a river breaking through ice. Yamato's body arched, and the frost that had once clung to him now became him. His long black hair bled to white, his skin frosted over with living rime, and his eyes burned with a cold fire that had never existed before.
Kill him.
Yamato raised one hand. Ice exploded outward in a perfect ring, and every silent blade became a frozen statue, mid-strike, mid-breath, silenced.
That power, it's not the Ice Queen's anymore. It's yours.
I will not die here.
He's heading deeper. That tunnel leads to the ice heart. It'll collapse.
Akira vanished into the bowels of the glacier, but the hunt was far from over. The tunnel opened into a vast hollow, a cathedral of ice. Pillars of frozen light held up a vaulted ceiling, and at its center, Akira stood before a pulsating blue heart.
This ends here, Akira. No more stolen years.
Then you'll die with me. The seal was never for containment. It was a bomb. I will collapse this glacier and bury your legend forever.
The heart screamed. Black threads shot from the runes, lashing Yamato's limbs, dragging him toward the altar. The cavern groaned as ice cracked above.
You think your hate can smother this cold? I was born of it.
Then a third force rose. Between them, Hisame materialized, not as a ghost, but as solid ice, her eyes finally clear.
Akira's seal was meant to kill my child. I gave myself to the ice so Yamato could live. I am not a demon. I am your mother.
Light flooded the cavern as Hisame's full memory poured forth. Akira's blade, her desperate spell, the cold womb that had sheltered Yamato for 25 years.
Mother, you've been with me all along.
The dark threads dissolved. The ice heart pulsed blue once more, and Akira's howl was swallowed by the light. The seal was finally broken.
When you were born, Akira saw your latent power, greater than his. He came to kill us both, claiming the Ice Queen's blood was too dangerous.
A vision shimmered. A younger Akira, blade raised over a bassinet, a priestess throwing herself forward. The spell erupted, a tidal wave of ice that swallowed them both.
I bound my spirit to yours and froze us in time, so that one day you could wake and finish what I could not.
Yamato's gaze turned to the crumpled figure beneath the ice heart. Akira's stolen years had bled away, his skin creased, his breath ragged.
You built a throne on children's bones and called it peace.
We were brothers in arms. Remember the war we fought together. Spare an old friend, Yamato.
The spear hovered. Yamato's jaw clenched. Tears froze on his cheeks, cracking as they fell.
Yamato, I did not sacrifice everything for you to become a monument of vengeance.
She's right. Killing Akira won't bring back the lost. But how do I let him live?
The choice hung in the frosty air. Akira's life dangled by the thread of Yamato's next breath.
Death is too clean a mirror for your crimes. Hisame, bind him with the same seal that once held you. Let it be a cage of his own making.
Hisame raised one hand. Blue light coiled from the ice heart and slithered toward Akira's feet, solidifying into a creeping glacier. Ice swallowed him layer by layer, knees, chest, up to his chin. His pulse hammered visibly beneath the transparent tomb. Akira's scream froze in his throat as the prison sealed over his body, but his eyes remained open, aware, and trapped behind the cold.
You will watch this world heal without you, Akira. Every child that lives free will be a mirror to your failure.
The seal is ours now. It will protect the villages, not devour them.
The ice heart pulsed gently, no longer a bomb, but a guardian core. The cathedral settled into a profound silence.
A monument of ice and memory. That is better than a grave of martyrs.
Above, the glacier's ancient cracks began to seal, as if the mountain itself exhaled. The long winter was over. Yamato descended the glacier path, the frozen Akira floating behind him on a sled of ice, his eyes still aware. Genji and Taro followed in silence. At the capital gates, a crowd gathered. Whispers spread. The Kage of Kages had fallen. Some trembled, others cried out in disbelief.
The tribute is over. Akira's treaty was built on the bones of your children. No more will be sacrificed in my name.
The villagers stared at the ice block, at Akira's frozen, conscious eyes. A woman screamed. A man dropped to his knees, weeping.
I served Akira out of fear. Now I will serve the truth. We need a new council, one that answers to the people, not to blood magic.
Taro spotted his mother among the crowd, her face streaked with tears. He ran to her and buried his face in her shoulder.
It's over, Mother. I am home.
Yamato watched the reunifications, his gaze drifting toward the distant glacier, where Hisame's light still pulsed gently.
Akira is sealed, but the world is wounded. Healing will take more than a decree.
Genji began organizing the bewildered villagers, while Yamato stood apart, a figure of frost and sorrow, the weight of his next steps unspoken. That evening, Yamato walked alone to the glacier's edge, where the ice met the first wildflowers of spring. Hisame's light awaited him.
My task is finished. The seal is pure, and you are whole. I could not have asked for more.
You are leaving, aren't you? After all this time, I only just found you.
I have always been with you, Yamato. Every flake of snow, every frozen breath, that was me.
Yamato's tears fell, each one freezing into a tiny crystal before shattering on the ground.
Live, my son. Build the peace I could not.
She dissolved into a swirl of snowflakes, spiraling upward until they merged with the stars. For a long moment, he stood in the silence, the weight of 25 years finally lifted from his shoulders.
I was frozen for a lie, but I will live for the truth.
He turned back toward the village lights, a solitary figure moving forward, carrying only his name and the frost that was no longer a curse. Yamato stood at the garden fence, the same bamboo fence from weeks ago. Hana's laughter drifted through the evening air. Her grandchildren now played where her own children once did. A new generation untouched by the shadow of the altar.
She has a peace I could never have given her, and I no longer grieve that.
He did not step inside. Without a sound, he turned and walked the path out of the village, toward the high cliff road. In the capital square, workers were dismantling the old statue of Yamato, the hero. The plaque had already been melted down. In its place, a new monument rose, a woman in priestess robes, an infant cradled in her arms, snowflakes rising from her shoulders. Children played around its base, tracing their fingers over the carved runes that now spoke of protection, not sacrifice. Yamato watched from the cliff path, his white hair catching the dawn light, his eyes clear.
They will tell a truer story now.
He turned his back on the rising sun and walked into the world, the frost on his cloak no sharper than a morning breeze.